This week we are looking at how to budget your personal finances. It is a 3-part mini money series, so hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when part 2 and 3 come out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bride to Be TV, the place to be if you are trying to plan your wedding. We made it to the office, not quite finished unpacking boxes and whatnot, but it's good enough and the lighting is so much better in here, so I'm really pleased to be able to be filming in here today. So as I said, we're going to be looking at your budget for your personal finances, and this is going to help us find out how much money you have got available to save towards your wedding. So this is going to be a 3-part series. This week we're going to look at personal budgets. Next week we're going to look at expectations versus your budget. So we're going to try and sort of live the fairy tale for a moment and see, like, on the grand scheme of things, where would we really want to be, and then try and find things that are more closer to the budget that you're looking at. And then the following week we are going to look at how to bring your personal finance budget and your wedding budget together to get you to that golden number, whatever that number is for you. So getting started this week, I will let you know we have a freebie at the end for you. So it'll be linked in the description below to my website blog. And at the bottom of that blog will be the link for the freebie. And the freebie is really going to take the headache out of working out the money that I'm going to be talking about today. So if you are somebody who hates maths and doesn't want to work anything out, I've got you, boo, don't worry. The only thing that I need you to do is find the total figures, and then we will break them down for you with this freebie. So getting straight into it. Number 1, you need to open up those bank accounts. It is time to get real. So open your bank accounts and take a look at all of your direct debits, standing orders. Write them all down. How much do they come to? Look at what those direct debits and standing orders are for. You might be surprised to find that there are little things in there that you completely forgot about, like subscriptions to Netflix or Now TV, or a magazine subscription that you get that you know it comes through the door, you don't really look at it, it's not worth having anymore. So first of all, priority number 1 is to cancel anything you don't use, don't want anymore, or had completely forgotten about. Just get rid of it. Then you need to look at, out of those direct debits, where are your fixed costs? So these are the ones that you can't change no matter what. If you want to keep a roof over your head and a car on your driveway, what are your fixed costs? So this is gas, electric, water, your rent, insurances, your car tax, anything like that comes under fixed costs. So separate those out from the other things, such as your broadband. It's not a well, your broadband you can class as a fixed cost because these days we all need our broadband, but you need to be careful, because if you have got a package where you have got TV, broadband and phone, well, your TV isn't a fixed cost, it's not a necessity. So really you need to segregate out the broadband price in that, and the rest goes into kind of your wanting to spend that money. So number 2 is to cancel anything you don't need. Step 3 is to list those fixed costs, add them all up and keep that number to the side. This is where we're going into the maths portion. If you haven't got that download in front of you and you're doing it as you go along, then pause the video here, head over to the website, download that freebie and then come back to me. Step 4 is to get your income costs. So what do you bring into your house now? I like to do this separately from my other half. Don't pool it all in one. We both have separate accounts and then we jointly pay bills and mortgage. You do whatever is comfortable for you, but this is just for your income. What are your wages, child benefit, tax credits, child maintenance, anything like that, anything that comes into your household for you personally? What does that money look like? What is that total? If you have a work-based pension, take a look at your wage slip. Whatever that payment is that you pay, not that your employers pay, that you pay, add that back on to the total income amount that you have. This is important for the next step. So the next step is step 5, and this is the maths bit. So this is where you can go over and use my freebie, and this will do it all for you. Alternatively, you can do this yourself if you're a bit of a maths whiz and you enjoy maths. I need you to break down your income into 4 different percentages. So those are coming up. Those 4 percentages are 10%, 60%, 10%, and 20%. Now these are the 4 percentages. I want you to break down your income into those, and now I'm going to tell you what those amounts are. So once you have got what 10% of your income is, what 60% is, what another 10% is, what another 20% is, that all adds up to 100%, so we're groovy. This is what they cover. The first 10%, that is your pension. That is how much you should be saving towards your retirement every month. So you already have some going into your workplace pension, so you've got something to put in that box already, but that 10%, that is what you should be paying towards your pension. Your 60% is your fixed costs, your mortgage, that number that we got out earlier, your mortgage, rent, utilities, phone bill, broadband, that total cost there, that is what should come under your 60%. So that is your fixed costs. Your other 10% is your savings. So the other 10% is a savings amount. So it's the same amount you're putting away for your future is the same amount you're putting away in your savings account. Your savings covers things like birthdays, Christmas, holidays, and anything else you want to save for. A new car. And then your 20% is your guilt-free spending money. Now I'm going to explain a little bit more about guilt-free spending money in a moment, but make sure that you've got all those written down. This is what you should be spending under normal circumstances. Step 6 is to look at whether these match what you've got. So if you have downloaded my freebie, you'll have been able to just put in your income and it will have automatically split that up for you and shown you how much you should have in each box. So next you need to look at your fixed costs. Do they match your 60%? If you are too high on your fixed costs, and 60% is like the maximum really, you want to try and get it closer to 50 or 55, but 60 is the highest. If you are spending more than 60% of your income on your fixed costs, you need to look at trying to get those lowered. So that's search around for better insurance deals, search around for better utility deals, seeing if you can lower your mortgage payments or move somewhere cheaper if it's your rent that's really high, looking for a better telephone deal, all of those things, and you need to do that as soon as possible. Obviously with insurances, you've got to wait till the end of the year because you want your no claims bonus. But with everything, just put it on your calendar to remind you at that point to look for something cheaper and try and bring yourself within that 60%. Step 7 is to look at your pension pot. So you've got your 10% that you should be putting into your pension pot. Is that what you're paying? Are you paying 10% of your income into your pension pot? If you are paying more than that, you need to look at maybe contacting a financial advisor, because I've seen a lot of experts, and I'm no expert, but I've seen a lot of experts put out there that you should only really pay into your work pension what your employer will match. Anything extra you should be putting into a different pension fund that can earn you better. But you would need to talk to a financial advisor about that, because they will be able to tell you whether your current pension at work is a good deal and you should stick with it, or whether it's worth having two different pensions and utilising that money differently. If you're not paying enough in, if your 10% isn't what you're paying in, you're paying less than that, you need to look at either upping your percentage to your workplace pension, especially if they will match it. Definitely do as much as they will match you, minimum, or look at opening a different pension pot and adding that extra to make it up to the 10%. So that's step 7. Step 8 is your savings. So with your savings, like I said, you need to look at listing out what you want to spend on birthdays, what you want to spend on Christmas, what you want to spend on holidays, and anything else you're saving for. And you need to work out how much of your 10% savings you can put to each of those pots. I use Money Budgie app for my savings goals. So I put my savings, I have it automatically deposited into my savings account once a month, but every month I go onto the Money Budget app and I allocate each little bit of my savings to the different pots. So I know how much money I've got in my holiday fund, how much I've got in my Christmas fund, etc. So you might want to look at doing that. Then the guilt-free spending is step 9. Now this is the fun bit. The money that is in your guilt-free spending is for you to spend on whatever you want. So if you want to subscribe to Hey You, comes out of that money. If you want to go and get your nails done, comes out of that money. You want to go out for dinner, it comes out of that money. So your guilt-free spending money is the money that you can spend on whatever you want without feeling guilty about it. So, you know, if you happen to love shoes and you want a new pair of shoes every month, you can go and buy a new pair of shoes every month without feeling guilty, because your fixed costs are covered, your savings are covered, and you're saving for your future. So you don't have to feel guilty about buying those things. And we shouldn't really want to, we shouldn't feel guilty about spending the money that we earn. But if you want to have a certain lifestyle, you've got to make sure that your financial pots are in order so that you can enjoy spending that money. If you haven't already, head over to the website and download that freebie, because it will make it so much easier for you. There are 2 boxes for each of you, so you can get your other half on this as well, because at the end of the day, if you do it and your partner doesn't, you're not going to be on the same page. So you both need to do this, and there is 2 sets of boxes. You can put in your income, and it will tell you how your money should be spread out, and you can put in your income and your fixed costs, and it will spread out the rest of it so you can see where you are at the moment, how close you can be to those numbers. So come back next week. We are going to be looking at setting your expectations, what you would love for your wedding, what you can afford for your wedding, and how to get them as close as possible for part 2 of this mini money series. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.